this video to sort of share my opinion on a sort of, with some people can be a little bit controversial issue, and that issue, right, is autism. Okay, I'm gonna tell you now, I'm a person who about several years ago, I don't know actually, was diagnosed with autism. So I wondered, how are you able to do this vlog? How? You're like autism thing. Alright, and that's just because there is loads of misconceptions about it. Alright, and they are the stupidest things ever. And like, I'm just gonna list the things. Well, basically a person who sort of is not autistic but is an expert on autism, to me, often sounds like this. Autism is a devastating condition which affects boys. It's a mental illness and it devastates the lives of the people around them. They have no feeling, they have no consciousness, they have no happiness, they can get nowhere in life. We need a cure. We need to get rid of these people. It's devastating on the people. But some people are brave enough to actually care about them with autism. How tragic. These people who are barely even human beings because they have like a broken brain. It doesn't work right. They can't even speak. Well, hey, autism lady. You should just shut up about being an expert because you're clearly not. Alright, for starters, yes, alright. Autism and Asperger's syndrome are mainly boys are affected, but that doesn't mean girls aren't, and a lot of people will say, oh, it's really different, but then it's not really that different for a girl, because even though they're often really overlooked at it, because you know what, the genders aren't really as different as we think that they are. And also, it's not mental illness. Alright, there's nothing wrong with mental illnesses, but autism is not a mental illness. It is a developmental disorder. Mental illness you aren't necessarily born with, but you develop it, and it can like go away with treatment. Autism sort of thing that you are born with. Alright, there isn't a treatment for it. And it's not something to do with like chemical things in your brain. It's just the way your brain is structured. And that is different, so it works differently to mental illness-ish, I suppose. So I don't think we should sort of keep associating it with that, because it's a little bit inaccurate. And did you know something? People with autism are human beings too. I'm just going to let that sink in. Do you realise it now? I get a little bit angry about this though, because it's really like, oh, I've heard all this really stupid ableist stuff, and like, I am a human being, I'm fine, or I'm just different to you, and difference scares you, clearly, and yes, alright, I'm gonna find life a bit more difficult sometimes, a lot of people do, but but we have things that we are still good at and everything. You can still be really clever. And you can still be just as much as a person. You can still have feelings in that. You can still communicate. But maybe just people don't want to communicate by speaking. Alright, maybe it's just people are so confusing to me. And it's like, what the? But just to make it a bit clearer, autism and Asperger's syndrome, which is a type of autism, alright, which normally has like specific traits, affects people in normally 4 ways. Like there's social interaction in that. This might affect me by saying I'm a bit uncomfortable with talking to people sometimes. Alright, people with autism might seem more quite introverted and shy and not really like talking to people very much, but not necessarily. Sometimes they do like talking. Senses, like this one, a lot of people don't really consider, and it doesn't really affect everyone, but I think I've not been formally diagnosed or anything, but I kind of think that I have synesthesia, and apparently there's meant to be a link about that. And basically, if you don't know, it's like when senses kind of do a bit of overlapping. So basically, I kind of see numbers and letters as colours. And I always have, and I thought it was normal, but apparently not everyone does, and I've just found that out. Also, a third one is communication, and that is just like talking to people. It's a little bit different. This one really, really affects me because it's quite hard to tell sometimes. Am I boring someone, or maybe I'm over-worrying? Because when I like to talk about something that I really like, I will go on and on and on and on and on. This video is probably really long anyway, which is showing that. What's the fourth one? Oh my god. Oh, imagination-y stuff. I'm really affected by this, alright? Because some of you might have like difficulties like imagining like stories and stuff, and like things that are in the real world, or might maybe be the other way around or something. But I don't really think I get affected by that, because a lot of people think autism people aren't creative, they don't like they have no imagination and stuff. But personally, I actually really do like all that. I like art, and I like writing, and that sort of thing I'm interested in, so not always true. But there is one thing about me that if I didn't have, which is part of the autism, I would have never been diagnosed, and that's called stimming, I think. Basically, if I'm alone and I'm trying to think about something, and if I'm thinking about something, I will start doing this. Thing is, unless some person is telling me I really should be in bed because it's really late, or I stub my toe on a coffee table, I won't realise I'm doing it. I'll just be like, oh, I'm doing a thing again. And like everyone thought I'm going to grow out of it, but I don't think I will. But I don't really care, because I mean, like, if I'm in a public place, I'm not going to randomly start doing it. It's just when I'm alone and I'm thinking, and then I just like, all of a sudden. And I've talked way too long, so bye.